Guys, so I am Ella, and you are watching me make cakes for my clients while I review in this cake and chat Love is Blind Season 3, the first three weddings. Okay, so this is like the third time I'm doing this video. The first time I did it, it was just like too long. It was like 50 minutes long. That was way too long. And then the second time I did it, it was a good size. It was like 25 minutes. But then I accidentally deleted it, like, seriously? Anyways, so I am going to try to recreate all my reactions and thoughts and everything I felt. So bear with me. Okay, so SK and Raven's wedding was the first wedding they showed us in episode 10. So, like, I wasn't too fussed about SK and Raven's wedding for the simple fact that all along I never felt any passion or any spark or like any love. It just, their whole union just felt very practical. It just felt like they sat down and talked to each other and they felt like they made sense together. She's this beautiful girl, he's this man who's doing very well for himself, he's getting educated, she wants her bills paid, she wants to be taken care of, and who could blame her? So they just seem to match on paper, but there was nothing to root for, no spark, anything like that. So my predictions for them were that Raven was gonna say yes and SK was gonna say yes. Then come to find out, at the very 11th hour, SK says, "No, I do not," to Raven. Excuse me? Like, I wasn't even really paying attention to them throughout the season. One, because they were boring, but also, I really thought they were a done deal and everything was just sewn up. I did not expect that. And then, so he says, "I do not," to Raven, and there's like a gasp throughout the crowd because I don't even think he told his mother. If he told his mother, she's the best actress on the planet because she looks so surprised. I think she even cried a little bit. Everybody was just like, "What?" And it's like, even before in the bridal suite, her friends were like, "Oh, SK better say yes or else they're gonna beat him up or whatever." But it's like everyone was shocked. Nobody saw it coming. So, and she's just standing there at the altar, so looking so beautiful because she chose to wear a traditional white dress, but then she had African head wrap. And it's like she had really immersed herself. I was like, this man said, "I do not," to this girl, and she was here eating food with her hands. She was like learning all about Nigerian culture. Like, she was trying to do her best to become, the best version of a Nigerian American princess. And this man said no to her. And she took it with grace. She sucked it up, she lifted her gown, and she ran out to the chapel. And you know what? Not a single soul ran behind her. Not a soul. They just left Raven. So I guess I was wrong about that one. That prediction definitely went wrong. But their wedding was just, short and sweet. So next one was Bartice and Nancy. My prediction for Bartice and Nancy was that Nancy was going to say yes. And I kind of thought Bartice was going to say yes, but eventually I kind of felt no. For the simple fact that he was just so wishy-washy. Here's when I knew, though, in my mind, that he was going to say no. Because how they left it, I think in episode 10, Nancy had said yes, and Bartice was getting ready to say the I do's or whatever. So they come to the new episode and showing all the behind the scenes or whatever. I didn't really care about that. But behind the scenes, Nancy being the absolute sweetheart. That's why I say Nancy deserves so much better. The absolute sweetheart that she is. She sends over a little gift to Bartice, a little gift bag. And in that gift bag is all these different little trinkets and tokens and like little memorabilia of their relationship so far. She did even want like a little toothpaste that meant something. I wasn't really paying attention, but I just knew she sent tokens to him, and he was just overwhelmed by how sweet and thoughtful she was. And then that's when he broke down. He even like got up and I guess tried to take off his like mic pack or whatever because he needed a break away from the cameras, and he went and washed his face or whatever. And he just seemed so overcome with emotion. And then I think either the producers or his father followed him in and asked him what was going on, and he was just like, oh, she's so thoughtful and so sweet, it's such a good gift. And I was like, I don't trust that. I do not trust that. You know why he's crying and so upset? Because he's just realizing how hard it is to go to look in Nancy's sweet, sweet face and say, no, I do not. And so said, so done. So we cut back to the aisle, right? And Bartiz then says, I do not. And Nancy, poor sweet Nancy didn't see it coming. She didn't have a clue. So then now you cut to the audience, like all of Nancy's family is there. And let me tell you, Nancy's family is just like, I know you lying. Nancy's whole family, their whole vibe is just like, I know you lying. And then even Bartiz's mother was just like, I do not like this. Okay. So then now what happens? So Nancy bolts out of the reception hall, and all her bridesmaids follow her, and all the girls are trying to hug her, but it's like, I get it. Nancy doesn't want to be touched. I guess she's just like in a vulnerable space, and she just needs like a quick ticky time out. But all her girls, all her bridesmaids are surrounding her. So she comes out and goes off in a corner, and then Bartiz comes out and I guess tries to talk to her or explain to her why he said I don't. But Nancy's family is on smoke. They are not having it. So, and Nancy's mother storms out and comes to them to give Bartiz a piece of her mind. She's like, I need to speak to you. I need to speak to you. And he's just like, let me speak to Nancy first. Okay, on the second, well, I should say on the third going around watching this and reviewing this, I'm getting even more mad because I'm just like, Bartiz's like whole response, it was just pathetic because Nancy would have given him the world. So he's just going in after they convinced Nancy's mother to leave because Nancy's mother was on smoke. She wanted to speak to him. He was just like, based on everything we had talked about, and like, I couldn't give you a yes. The things they had talked about. So one, Nancy is a boss babe. She and her ex-boyfriend, they have multiple properties together that they flip and sell. So, and it's very lucrative. And even on one of the houses, Nancy's name is like on the mortgage with her ex-boyfriend, and he didn't like that. Bartiz didn't like that. Also, they mentioned a smortion, and Nancy was pro abortion based on her line of work. She's a speech pathologist, and she works with all different sorts of people with all different sorts of disabilities, and she's seen how it affects the children and how it rips the family apart, and then how sometimes one parent is just left being the sole carer, and she's just like, it is so hard to watch it up close and personal. She would be pro abortion with her partner. Obviously she'd want to talk about it, but she would be pro abortion, and Bartiz is just fully anti-abortion. And then he, leading up to the wedding day, he was having some issues being attracted to Nancy. Here's the thing. When they first came out of the pods, he loved Nancy, kissing up on Nancy. Oh, he's so attracted to Nancy. But then as soon as the little couples retreat, the pre-moon happened, and he was able to see Raven, which was his other prospect in the pods, he just totally fell out, I guess, of lust, because I guess that's all it could be with Nancy. So Nancy is gorgeous, she's cute and petite, and I'd say maybe she's a little mid-size, whereas Raven, his other interest is, I think, a little bit taller, and she's super athletic, super in shape, and she does Pilates, and she's also mixed race and has curly hair. Here's the thing about that. Somebody on TikTok made the mention that not Nancy, Raven actually kind of looks like Bartiz's sister. So, but ever since he saw Raven, he was just like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. He even, like, after the couples retreat, dinner night, drink night, whatever. He literally came to the bed and told Nancy how beautiful Raven is, how much of a smoke show Raven is, how if he'd seen Raven at a bar, he'd go over and talk to her, and people would expect him and Raven to be together because they're such beautiful people and they're so gorgeous, and Raven is a smoke show, smoke show, smoke show. He's just going on and on and on, all about how beautiful and amazing Raven is looking. All the while Nancy is just sitting there slap jaw like and Mans is not reading the room at all. So ever since he saw Raven, he has been iffy with Nancy in terms of attraction, because at one point in time she was even begging to hug him and kiss him and all that, and he didn't have any time for her. But then somehow leading up to the wedding, I guess he found his spark again, and I guess Nancy forgot about all this other stuff he said. So now outside the church, chapel, hall, wedding, whatever, things are getting serious because Nancy and Bartiz, I guess they're trying to have their rehash of what went wrong. But Nancy's family wants all the smoke. Like, they are going through it because Nancy's mother is crying, the brother is crying, and Nancy's brother is just like, I knew it, I knew something was wrong, I knew it. And then the mother's like, I hate that you had to be right. And so like the more they talk to each other, the hotter they're getting, and all that heat I know is coming Bartiz's way. Alright, so Nancy's mother has had enough. She leaves the brother and comes back over to Nancy and Bartiz, and she's just like, listen, mija. Listen, mija. He doesn't deserve you. He's not ready for you. You deserve better. You deserve better, mija. And all the while, Bartiz is just looking at her like, where are the exits? Where are the exits? So everything starts to go left now. So Nancy's mother is basically reading Bartiz the right act. So Bartiz's mother, not to be outdone, she coming to protect her little boy, well, her baby boy. So she pulls up. Then Bartiz's father pulls up. Then the brothers pull up and the brides. So it's like, it's a thing now. It's a thing. It's gonna go down now. And this was the part that made me mad. Like, Bartiz is in my bad books. He probably doesn't care, probably doesn't know. But he's in my bad books because it's like, all these people are upset, right? Obviously, because their daughter, their sister is hurt. So everybody's surrounding the two of them. And Bartiz has the cojones, the audacity to say, oh, this is our decision. He doesn't care what anybody else says. This is our decision. Hello? How in which world could it be our decision? Nancy said yes. You're the one that said no. Hello? Nancy's brother is on it because he's just like, why would you bring us all here to then say I don't? And Bartiz, this audacity, the audacity runs deep with him because he's just like, I don't owe y'all any answers. I only owe her answers. Excuse me? Try that with a Caribbean people's family. Try that. You can look at my mother's face, my brother's face, and say I don't owe y'all nothing after we put on our Sunday best. So stuff is really getting heated now because Nancy's brother is hot. Like, everybody that was inside the chapel is now outside the chapel surrounding Nancy's brother because I guess they're scared. Bartiz might knock and Nancy's brother might buck. And so he's just like, Bartiz, still arrogant, still audacious, is telling the brother he's basically effing everything up. And he keeps saying that. And the brother's like, how could me be the one messing things up? You are the one who brought us here, embarrassed my sister just to say no. So Nancy, no, she doesn't even have time to probably feel her feelings. She's just trying to play peacekeeper. So she's just like, listen, just brother, back down. And then she and Bartiz go over to just, I guess, have some quiet time and just make everything final. Listen, so while Nancy and Bartiz go to sort everything out, Nancy's mother and brother are talking to the camera, and Nancy's brother's just like, that's a little boy, that ain't no man, he's a punk. Listen, if Netflix cameras were not there, right, it would be different. I honestly feel it would be different. Nancy's brother was on smoke. Okay, so Nancy and Bartiz, they go to a private little stairwell and they sit and talk. So Nancy's here telling Barty she was basically blindsided. Like she had no doubt in her mind that today was her wedding day and Bartice was gonna say yes. So she's just like, I was blindsided. So Nancy's telling Bartish throughout the experiment, I told you not to blindside me and I feel gaslit. And she's just like, send me a shot saying we got this. This is where that shot came from because like I tell you, Bartiz fully intended to say no to Nancy. So after she sent over that sweet little gift to him and then he had his breakdown, obviously he's got to cut show him and show face or whatever. So he doesn't have any proper gift for her. So what he does, Tricky Ricky, he sends a waiter over to Nancy's bridal area and with a shot and a note saying let's do this or whatever. But it's just like trifling. Here he go talking about he didn't know up to the last minute. He was no yes, no yes, no no. Listen. He's talking about, oh, it could still work. Nancy is just like, listen. I said yes to you because I was fully prepared to say yes and get married to you and you be my husband and the love of my life. I ain't got time for this back and forth. Nancy is just saying basically everything that happens means nothing. Basically, what Barty says means nothing to her. And he's got the audacity to say, oh, like, how could you say it means nothing? How could you flip the script like that? Hello, sir? You embarrassed that girl. And she basically just like what I said before. She was like, she was fully prepared down to ride for you. And you said no. And baby girl is leaving. And she just lets him know it is done, over, finito. She pulls off her ring, smacks it on the step, and she bounces. Poor Nancy, in her final shot, she's just like, she took a risk to love him for who he was, and she was hoping he would do the same. Nancy's looks so beautiful. She's crying. She's so hurt and heartbroken. And this fool, he with the screw face talking about, I don't think I did anything wrong. And that's it. Nancy, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. Okay, now my mood can change. Now we have Alexa and Brennan. And Alexa and Brennan was always the surefire couple for me. I predicted that he would say yes, she would say yes. Because honestly and truly, they never really had any bumps, any problems, any ups and downs. Like, they were really smooth sailing all throughout. Even though they have a lot of differences, you know, she's a rich itch. You know, she's a rich girl. She comes from money and luxury and, you know, a fancy lifestyle, whereas, you know, he's a country boy. You know, they grew up poor or whatever, so they have definitely different money stories, but they get along so well. And while I would have said SK and Raven, like, they were kind of boring, I would say Alexa and Brennan, they were low key, but you felt the passion. You felt that there was love. You felt that there was some kind of spark there, even though their whole vibe was low key. And I kind of felt that was kind of maybe down to Alexa. You know, I think she was kind of aware of the cameras and maybe didn't want to do too much PDA and, you know, she didn't want to be too gushy, but you felt like she liked Brennan, even though she is wild as hell. Because when they were at the couples retreat, pre-moon or whatever, she was at the pool and she was like she was telling their business. She was like, oh, Brennan only lasted 2 minutes in the bedroom. I was like, what, girl, why are you telling people Brennan's business? But anyways, outside of that, you know, I would be very surprised if she or Brennan said no, because she has been pressing him. When they went to dinner, she was like, listen, are you going to say yes or no? And, you know, he told her yes. He told her he was all in. So I would be really surprised, like ridiculously surprised, if either of them said no. I would absolutely want my money back, because I would have felt bamboozled, hoodwinked, and led astray. Listen, Alexa makes such a beautiful bride. Because here's the thing, already she was a gorgeous girl, but she makes such a beautiful bride. What I'm realizing, like, all the girls kind of chose similar dresses, like very form-fitting. And hers is a form-fitting gown. She's got all the curls and everything. And she just looks stunning. And so now Brennan's brothers are kind of teasing him, like, what if she says no, and trying to mess with him or whatever. And then Brennan's mother, she comes in, she's so adorable in her little black dress, she's so cute. And she's just, she's saying she wanted to check up on her baby boy, she wanted to give her baby boy one last hug, and she's so cute. She's just like her last baby's getting married. Oh, Mumsy, you're too cute. So here comes Mum putting pressure on Brennan. She's saying Lemire's, which is their last name, get once. They basically get married once. And I'm just like, Moms, do not put all this pressure. Sometimes people have to do it once, twice, don't put all that pressure. But she's just saying she knows how he is. He loves so much. He loves with all his heart. So that's why she keeps asking him if he's really ready, really serious about this. Because even earlier in the season, she had mentioned to Alexa that sometimes when it gets to be too much, sometimes he can run away, if his heart and his emotions are involved. So that's why she's been pressuring him all the time. So Mumsy says the day that Daddy, aka Brennan's dad, kissed Mum, she knew that was it. From that one kiss, she knew he was the one and he was her forever. Mumsy, but not everybody can get one first kiss and know that that person's the one, Mumsy. Please love us, mums. Give us a break. But Brennan counters with, I proposed before I kissed her. And Mumsy's like, so you knew. So Mummy feels assured, and Brendan's this whole time, he's just saying, Alexa, 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 I want Alexa, Alexa. Like, even in the pods, he was talking to Colleen at first, and then as soon as he realized he had a real and true vibe with Alexa, he cut things off with Colleen, just like he deaded that. So like since then, he has been all about Alexa, Alexa, Alexa. So we see Alexa and her dad, and he's looking so handsome and she's so beautiful, and he says like he always knew someone was gonna like Alexa for the interesting, charming woman she is, but he wasn't sure if she would like someone back. And he cries a little bit. Listen, they got me believing in this love thing for real, because with the other two weddings, all they ask, like SK and Raven and Nancy and Bartiz, is like, do you do or whatever? But listen, Brennan pulled out his own vows. He wrote them down, and Alexa's beaming, and then she counters back with her own homemade vows, and it's like so beautiful. Like all Alexa's family is crying, Brennan's family, like it is so beautiful. They're giving me that Lauren and Cam moment, even though Lauren and Cam said like there will never be another Lauren and Cam, like their story is theirs. But I don't know, it's giving me good feels. It's making me feel like, oh gosh, like, is love real? Like, is it real? So they kiss, and the whole room erupts with applause, and everybody's so happy, and they look so cute together. And honestly, they just seem happy. And you know what? I'm wishing the best for them. What I realized about Love is Blind, the boring couples tend to be the ones that last, and the ones that are just filled with drama, they don't last. So I guess maybe you want your love life to be just a little bit boring. But anyways, guys, it's your girl Ella, and this was the review for the first 3 weddings. I have the review for the last 2 weddings, Cole and Zaneb, Matt and Colleen, and then finally the reunion coming up. So please come back and watch those other videos. Also, please like and subscribe and comment and do all the things that will make my heart go ting-a-ling-ling. Bye, guys.